why would you then think of him as all God? And why do you bring the evil into question? What is devil and where is devil coming from? You understand? Where is really devil coming from? In this regard, he's the same one that does all that. And he's the one also that does the other side, that to prevent evil from coming to you. So it is no devil from anywhere. But it is God himself maneuvering and doing what he wants to do, or how he wants to function in his own universe. So it depends on what we believe and what we have believed or what we understand it. But as the current status of things are, we are bound to sort of not just jump into conclusion. We are bound to accept things as we are until he comes in to tell us what really is going on. Because I look at my life, and there isn't any definite means of what to believe. Because look at the differences of all the groups of people. Even if you are to choose any, both of them carry out the false, and some of them will carry out the good. All of them has got the ability to success, or ability to some kind of divine demonstration, and in some point they don't. The symptoms of the confusion is on everybody. You can't just point finger and say this is the best of ideas, or this is the best of a group. There isn't anything of that nature. Just like a man having good things in you and having bad things in you, we reflect in both ways. Same with all the religion, same with all the approaches, mentality. There is both in them. Are we thinking at the same time that the Almighty, the unique person that brought us into being, also have the same abilities or have the same characteristics? It could be the case. A lizard gives birth to a lizard. The production of a good company produce good things. The production of a bad company produce bad things. God, who manufactured us, if has got all the qualities, then his qualities of whatever he intends to be or whatever he is will reflect in his work. His work will reflect as he is, and have no issues or no problems with that. Because if that's what he is, why would he have problem with himself? He won't have problem with himself. When we look into it, I looked into it, I'm reading through all the differences of the scriptures, how all have been presented, so that I can define which one is truly from God. Even was it from God from the very beginning? Because these things have given us an idea of life, and that's where we live life. It has made us to know what is bad, what is not bad. He's given us a stats knowledge of who an enemy is, and clearly a Christian will see a Muslim as somebody on the other side. The Muslim will see a Christian as somebody or a group of people on the other side. They don't see them as in them. No, they are on the other side. Other side as neighbors. Just like the country. Britain sees what his neighbors. It could be France, it could be whatever countries that are sharing borders with it. But it's an island in some sense, so it shares no border, but still it has got neighbors which are close by. Italy and the rest, there are countries close by. So there are neighbors, Ireland and all those places. Somehow a group of people, they formed themselves, and then they sort of looked at the other person as an alien, or as someone that is not closely or cannot be closely be related to them. Any ethnic group is all grouping themselves or has grouped themselves as they choose to accept themselves to be, and that's as far as we can go, but not in the sense of the whole universe accepting ourselves to be, even though in some senses it is the case that we believe that we are all one. But generally, we still say that, but we have our differences. We look at these books which gives us the differences. And it's not a living secret. Why should there be a Bible? And all of a sudden be a Quran? And all of a sudden be the 7 books of Buddha? Or that? Or why should that be the case? Because it just developed into us. People were inspired along that line. And these things are differences because it is not just a book. It is a way of life of people. It is a group of people who stood by these rules and regulations in the book, or guidance in the book, the examples that they use to guide their life. So in that sense, you cannot put it aside. It does have so much influence in our lives. In the parental father guidance or whatever I was bringing up, probably was deeply and strongly convicted to any of these books. And so that was his main guide to bring up his children. And if that was the case, you were fed with it, and there is nothing you can do than to look at where the issues are and point it out. So you know where your lunacy is coming from. If you are lunatic, if you're crazy, whichever way, you know where it's coming from. Because society and the rejections you might have might all be because at the end of the day, your approach to life has been different. People reject people because of that sometimes, because you are acting differently. You can easily be presumed as, this guy is sick, he's not right. Because look at him, he's always indoors, or he's that kind of person. Look at him, he's always talking to himself. Look at that guy. What is he doing? Why is he always interested in this person? Or why is he, always saying the things he's saying? I mean, look at him. He always wears that shirt or that clothes. Look at him. How does he, people will always come up with everything about you because you have a way of understanding and you are living that life, and it's offending other people because that is the normal thing as they used to see. Now, will people normally take time and consider whether it's normal, necessary, that those things are necessary or not necessary? No. The world is moving into a certain direction. People embrace life in that direction, and the same is expected of you. So the idea that people accept that we have to unify ourselves, some sort of unipolar world, as others might call it, it's like we know it in our head. But what is making it impossible for you to achieve that unified state of what do you call it? Society, is what we are pointing out. The things we learn, the very things that teaches us to have an idea of that unipolar sense, also teaches us to not to have the idea of unity. And I point you from Genesis. If you watch the video, you can see where the problem was coming from. Now, whether it's a written error or a text error or whatever it is, I was saying to myself, and I've said myself, and several times I've demonstrated my model of understanding that at the end of the day, the living God, the good God, the mighty and wise God, no matter what he is or whatever character we may figure him out to be, will not come up with such writing or such information. But even if he did, it demonstrates to us who God is, or what kind of God we are talking about. Now, when we know that also, and if that is the case, can we say that the definition fits him? No, the definition doesn't all fit him. So we have to fit him with a definition that is right. We have to say there's things that we say of him, but we have to add the other things that we prevent ourselves from saying, so that it becomes clear to us what we are, where we have come from, why we are what we are, what makes us what we are. And if we're able to see ourselves and define it well, then we have no problem. We just have to accept what we are and move on. We have to accept the evil in us or the evil not in us, or the good in us or the good not in us, and move on. So it's a hard task. It is not an easy topic. It's not an easy thing. But I strongly believe that we can do that. If I can stand the idea of somebody giving claim or some sort of good words, of sweet words, claiming, giving precedence or some sort of what do you call it? Sorry. Glorify someone, and it's not being, the glorification is not so necessary, or is not required to be. That really pulls me back. It really makes me think and feel that who is he trying to impress? What is he trying to do? There is nothing out there to impress.